Hi viewers, welcome to GRS Learn Life Sciences. In our previous video, we have done with the basic features, the chordate features of cephalochordates. In this video, I would like to explain the general features of the cephalochordates. In previous video, we have discussed how this subphylum has got its name. So in cephalochordates, the notochord extends from its tail part to the head part or the cephalic part of the body. So that's why they have got the name cephalochordata. And these cephalochordates are also known as lancets, as their body has a pointed edges on their anterior side and also at their posterior side. Also the body is laterally compressed, so that's why they have got the name lancets. So in this video, let us discuss the general features of these cephalochordates. In our previous video, we have discussed habit and habitats of cephalochordates. They are marine organisms and they are found in different oceans of the world. So they have a cosmopolitan distribution and they are filter feeders. So they take the food using the specialized organs that are present in their oral and pharynx region of the body. Next, we have discussed the morphological features. In morphological features, we have discussed that these organisms have a fish-like body. Then we have discussed the anatomical features. In anatomical features, we have discussed the basic features. So the basic features like the notochord and neural tube. Then we have discussed the gills, also the tail part of the body. So in this video, let us now discuss the general features. So we are going to discuss the features other than these basic features. Let us now discuss the general features of the cephalochordates. Cephalochordates are triploblastic organisms. So they are triploblastic organisms. That means they have three germ layers: ectoderm, mesoderm, and also the endoderm. So their body is formed by three germ layers. So they are triploblastic organisms. Then coelom. So cephalochordates have enterocoelom. So in enterocoelom, the endoderm forms pouch-like structures, and these pouch-like structures, they forms the coelom in the cephalochordates. So that's why we say they have the enterocoelom. So this coelom is highly reduced in the pharynx region. The pharynx is covered externally by the atrium though. So the atrial cavity covers the pharynx. So except this region, the enterocoelom is highly developed in other parts of the body. Only in this portion of the body, the coelom is highly reduced due to the atrial cavity. So this is very important. So the atrial cavity is present around the pharynx region, reduces the coelom in this part of the body. Next, coming to the body wall. So the body wall has formed by three parts. One is the skin, and the second one is the muscles, and the third one is the peritoneum. So the skin is present on the body, and it secretes the mucus. It formed by a single layered epidermis and the basement membrane. And coming to muscles, these muscles are very thick in the dorsolateral region. So in this part, so they are very thick. So in the dorsolateral region they are very thick, but ventral region they are very thin. These muscles, they show metameric segmentation. You can see here all these segments are the blocks of the muscles, and these muscles or these muscle blocks, they are arranged in the body from the anterior to posterior side. So they are present along the length of the body. These muscle blocks have V-shaped structure. You can see here clearly they are V-shaped in structure. So beneath this muscle layer, so the peritoneum is present. So the peritoneum covers or lines this muscle layer internally. Next, the digestive system. So coming to the digestive system, so the digestive system is called the complete type of digestive system. Here you can see that this digestive system starts with this mouth region and it ends with this anus. So therefore this kind of digestive system is called complete type of digestive system. So this pharynx region is a very large part in this digestive system, you can see here. So this is the largest part of this digestive system, and this pharynx has perforations or the slits, you can see here. All these vertical slits or the vertical perforations are called the gill slits in this organism, and this pharynx is covered by the atrial cavity. So the atrium is present around this pharynx region. So due to this atrium, the coelom is highly reduced in this part, and these organisms, they take the diatoms and the protozoans as food. So they are microphagous organisms, we call them microphagous, as they take the food as diatoms and protozoans, which are very small in the size. Next, the respiratory system. The respiration is not performed by gills or the gill slits which are present on the pharynx wall in these organisms. Why? Because the gills doesn't have the blood capillaries in this body, but the pharynx wall has the blood capillaries, and due to these blood capillaries, the respiratory gases exchange takes place on the wall of the body but not in the gills. So this is very important feature in these cephalochordates. In urochordates, the gills are functional and they perform the respiration, but in cephalochordates, as they don't have the blood capillaries, they cannot perform the respiration. Next is the excretory system. The excretion is performed by protonephridia in these organisms. So they have the protonephridia, and these protonephridia have a solenocytes and which performs the excretion. So unlike other chordates, these cephalochordates, they use the protonephridia as excretory organs. In other chordates, we see the mesodermal excretory organs. So there are kidneys. So we find the kidneys, so mesonephric kidneys and metanephric kidneys in other chordates, but these cephalochordates, they don't have the mesodermal excretory organs, and they have the protonephridia which develops from the ectoderm. Next, the circulatory system. So coming to the circulatory system, they have a closed type of circulatory system. In urochordates, we have seen that the open type of circulatory system, but in cephalochordates, they have the closed type of circulatory system. That means the blood flows in the blood capillaries, that means the blood flows in the blood vessels. Though they have the closed circulatory system, don't have an important organ of circulatory system, that is called the heart. So heart is missing in these organisms. Even though cephalochordates don't have the heart, the blood is pumped in the blood vessels by the contractions of these blood vessels, and also the blood doesn't have the pigment in these organisms. In cephalochordates, we have seen that vanadium is present as a pigment in those organisms, but cephalochordates, they don't have any respiratory pigment in their blood. The other important thing is that they have a hepatic portal system. The hepatic portal system is developed in these organisms. We know that two important portal systems are present in the body. One is hepatic portal system, the other one is the renal portal system. The renal portal system collects blood from the posterior part of the body to the kidneys, and from the kidneys the blood is collected by the hepatic portal system. So hepatic portal system collects blood from the kidneys and pumps blood to the liver. As cephalochordates don't have the kidneys, so renal portal system is absent in these organisms. In this organism, heart is absent, so the blood is pumped into the sinus venosus. You can see this is the sinus venosus, and which collects the blood from the hepatic veins. So the blood from anterior parts is collected by the anterior cardinal sinus, and from posterior it is collected by the posterior cardinal sinus. So the blood is collected by this anterior cardinal sinus and also by the posterior cardinal sinus in these organisms, but the blood is distributed by the dorsal aorta and also by the ventral aorta. So this dorsal aorta, it pumps blood in the dorsal region of the body, and this ventral aorta, it pumps blood to the ventral part of the body.
So this is about the circulatory system. So the heart is absent in these organisms. It is very important, so you have to remember this. Next one is the nervous system. So coming to the nervous system, we have already discussed about the neural tube in the basic features of the chordates. Coming to the nervous system, the neural tube is not modified as the brain and spinal cord in this organism. So this neural tube is a hollow structure, and then it doesn't form the ganglion and brain in these organisms, but this neural tube, it forms the dorsal and ventral roots which are separate in these organisms. So this is very important. So it forms the dorsal roots and also the ventral roots in these organisms. Next one is the reproductive system. Coming to this reproductive system, so sexual reproduction occurs in these organisms, and these organisms are dioecious organisms. Even though they are dioecious organisms, so they don't exhibit the sexual dimorphism. See, in these cephalochordates we see the male organisms and female organisms, so but they don't show any sexual dimorphism, so we cannot distinguish them externally. These organisms have 26 to 27 pairs of gonads. So this is very important. So they have 26 to 27 pairs of gonads, and these gonads are present in the segments from 25 to 51. So from 25 to 51 segments, these gonads are present on the ventral side of the body. We can see them on the ventral side of the body. They are present, and they are present from the 25th segment to the 51 segment. They are around 26 to 27 pairs, and these gonads, they develop the gametes, and these gametes are released outside of the body. So external fertilization takes place. So once the gametes are released from the organisms, so these gametes are fused in the water. So they are fused in the ocean water. So external fertilization takes place. And coming to the development, so the development is direct. So we don't see any larval stage in the life history of the cephalochordates. But the other important thing is that they have intermediate juvenile form. So this is very important, but this is not the larva. So these are the general features of the cephalochordates. So thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe for my channel.